Hello, friends. Have you ever had a nightmare? Most kids occasionally have a dream that's frightening or upsetting. And did you know that 50% of adults have dreams like that from time to time, too? When you awaken from a nightmare, the images from it are still fresh and can seem really real, even if later they don't seem very scary at all. My brother had a dream once that a piano was chasing him. It's a family story that gets told over and over again. No one knows exactly what causes nightmares. Some people think dreams and nightmares are a way for kids, and adults too, to process thoughts and feelings about situations they face and to work through worries and concerns. Sometimes a nightmare has recognizable bits and pieces of the day's events or experiences, but with a scary twist. And we usually remember scary dreams more often than other dreams. Did you know dream research has found that some types of dreams are universal? That means everyone has them. Your mom, your neighbor, the mail carrier, even your cat. Well, maybe not the cat. Universal dreams include dreams of being chased, being unable to run or get away, falling dreams, a dream of being lost or missing an important exam, even having all your teeth fall out. What do you do when you wake from a bad dream? What makes you feel better? Does it help to talk about the nightmare? Tell yourself it was just a dream? Talk to your mom or dad? Dreams are as old as, well, the Bible. In fact, this week, we hear a story about a man named Pharaoh who had some really disturbing dreams. Luckily, a boy named Joseph was able to help him figure out what his dreams meant. You remember Joseph from last week? The boy whose own brothers sold him to some slave traders? This is the story of Joseph in Egypt by Laura Allery. Joseph fared better than many slaves. He did not end up in the mines or quarries doing backbreaking work. Instead, the traders took him to Egypt and sold him to a man named Potiphar. Potiphar was a trusted servant of Pharaoh, the king of Egypt. Joseph helped Potiphar run his household. When Potiphar saw what a good worker Joseph was, how clever, how wise, how trustworthy, he gave Joseph more and more responsibilities. Soon Joseph was the most important slave in the whole house. But then his life fell apart again. Joseph was young and handsome, and Potiphar's wife noticed him. She wanted Joseph, and she always got what she wanted. But Joseph said no. Potiphar's wife was so angry she told her husband a terrible lie about Joseph. The next thing Joseph knew, he was locked up in a dungeon. "Why is this happening to me?" he cried. "I tried to be a good son and I ended up in an old well. I tried to be a faithful servant and I end up in jail. Why? My father always said that God will be with me wherever I go. Is God here in this dungeon?" Joseph waited and wondered. Also in prison with Joseph were two servants of Pharaoh, his cupbearer and his baker. One morning they were both upset because of strange dreams that had troubled them the night before. "It is God who reveals the meaning of dreams," said Joseph. "Please tell me about yours." Both men told Joseph their dreams, and he explained the meaning. Everything he said came true. Later, when the cupbearer had been set free to return to work, the Pharaoh of Egypt was troubled by strange and terrible dreams. When the cupbearer heard this, he remembered Joseph. "I know someone who may be able to help you," he said. That very day, Joseph was brought out of prison and into the Pharaoh's palace. "I had two dreams," explained Pharaoh. "In the first, I was standing by the Nile, the great river that gives life to our land. Every year it floods and covers our fields with rich soil so crops can grow. Without it, Egypt could not exist. As I stood by the river, I saw cows wading in the water. 7 of them came up onto the bank. They were fat and glossy. But then 7 more cows followed them, and these were skin and bones. The terrible part is, the scrawny cows began to eat the fat cows. They ate and ate until there was nothing left." Pharaoh shuddered, remembering the dream. "Then I dreamed I was standing in a field of grain. The soil was rich and black, and the sun was hot. I saw 7 stalks of grain, and they were full and ripe, a wonderful harvest. But then out of the ground came 7 more stalks. They were withered and dead-looking, and the dead, dried-up stalks began to eat the full ones. They ate and ate until there was nothing left. Joseph listened carefully. Then he said to Pharaoh, "It is God who reveals the meaning of dreams. This is the meaning of yours. For the next 7 years there will be plenty of food in the land of Egypt. The soil will be rich, crops will grow, animals will thrive, and everyone will have lots to eat. But then there will be 7 years of famine. The river will not give its gift of rich silt. Crops will wither, and animals will die. There will not be enough food." Pharaoh was horrified. Joseph continued, "You must get ready now. Build storehouses and set aside grain so when the years of famine come, there will be something to eat. Your dreams are frightening, but they are a gift from God. Now you know what you must do to save your people from hunger." Pharaoh looked at Joseph with admiration. "If I searched for one end of Egypt to the other," he said, "I could not find a man as clever, as wise, and as trustworthy as you. I am putting you in charge of everything." Then the Pharaoh gave Joseph a ring and a special robe, so everyone would know he had been chosen to carry out this plan. Joseph did his work well. By the time the years of famine came, there was enough food stored in Egypt. Not plenty, but enough. Now and then, when Joseph had time to stop and think about his life, he was amazed. "Terrible things have happened to me," he said, "but somehow I have ended up here, in the very place I needed to be. God has used me to save Egypt." And not only Egypt. There was food enough to spare for the many hungry people from other lands who came looking for help. Until next time, friends, take care of yourselves and each other, and remember how much you are loved by God.